The reason I actually record this at this very moment is the same reason I actually make this video in the first place. Sorry, that's kind of just a sentence which states it's it the thing it's stating. It doesn't really matter. What I mean is like what I'm talking about in this video is kind of the reason I made this video. So basically, it's nearly 10 o'clock. I'm supposed to be going to sleep in like 5 minutes, and I completely forgot that I was supposed to make a YouTube video today. And now I am paying the slight little price for it. Basically, what you need to do in pretty much every situation in life is do things you don't want to do. Don't do things because you're motivated to do them. As David Goggins said, motivation is crap. You need to find that thing within yourself and do it yourself, even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't don't particularly have any inclination to do so emotionally. You need to pay attention to the external delayed gratification from it. And it's like, if you read the First Testament in the Bible, basically God keeps telling Aaron and Moses to sacrifice these bulls and lambs and oxen and sheep to the altar, and this was supposed to be a sacrifice for God, and it was supposed to kind of redeem them in His eyes. With and it's basically them making a sacrifice in the present moment in order for something greater in the future to manifest, and that's that's basically delayed gratification in a nutshell. It's doing something that requires a little sacrifice now, but it's going to yield a compounded output in the future. That's basically what I'm doing every day for my business. Like, I'm working every single day. I'm doing outreach that kind of just destroys my, well, it kind of like beats down my soul a bit, but my soul's going to come back stronger, of course. Not my actual soul, but like my brain and my pain tolerance, it gets kind of crumbled and then it's built back up again. And that's basically what it takes. It takes a bit of sacrificing your current pleasure in the present moment for something in the future. And to be honest with you, right now, I feel awful. I feel terrible. And the funny thing is, I actually got someone to agree to be a client, and I got to send them the onboarding form, and I got pretty much everything through. And it was such an unlikely occurrence as well, because they had so many reasons to not do it, and I just countered every objection. And I'm actually pretty proud of myself with how I handled that situation, because I failed to handle so many objections, but today I just stuck in it because I had already seen how I failed before, and I kind of positioned myself in such a way that, the objections were already half handled by the time I even got to them, and so all I had to do was finish them off. And even though I have no results to my name, and I was kind of very able to articulate myself in a way that proved that I could still deliver a good output, and therefore I kind of got past the results, even though it was such a strong objection. And he was really like, he was really like, and this is sort of how it just is in business. You want to see results, not just words. And I was like, yeah, okay, crap. I've really got to, to articulate myself in a way that can kind of sort of address this objection without ignoring it. And I kind of did that. I said, yeah, you need to see results, and no amount of wording, no amount of nice talk that I perform in front of you can alleviate that. And I'm sorry about that, but what I can promise you is that I have an offer, so there's no incentive for me not to deliver results for you. I also have a web design client who is very on websites themselves, which are very well designed, and you can see them yourself. So I haven't delivered results in a way that I can present to you because of confidentiality reasons. By the way, confidentiality, I mean, I haven't really done it, but I didn't mention that to him. It wasn't a lie. It just wasn't me actually telling them that I'd done anything. And kind of avoiding disaster in the same way. And also my character, that's the third thing I said to him. So if my character, meaning that I will go to the ends of the earth to do this, I will put my absolute heart and soul into it. And basically I said, would the character thing, the web design testimonials, and the offer, all three of them, could they sort of substitute for a kind of result? And he was saying, I will kind of still need to, have some results. But you know what? Could we do it on a trial basis where it's only 3 months that I have to do it for? And then I said, well, what do you mean? And then he said, well, like I'm still going to be paying you on results and all that, but it's only going to be for 3 months. And I was like, well, what do you mean? Is that not like basically kind of what I'm going for now, which is 1 month? And he said, no, I thought you were trying to wrap me into a contract for a year. And I said, or 6 months. And I said, no way. Like I'm not trying to get you in for that long right away. I'm only trying to get you in for the first month so I can prove it to you with commission and then possibly move to an upfront fee basis. And he was like, what's the upfront fee? I said, around 1 to 3 grand probably. It's going to be less than the commission I'm making you anyway. So we're going to transition from there. And he was like, okay, send me the onboarding form then. It was amazing, because I'm I was just assuming the real problem was the objection he was given to me, but it was actually something I had never addressed, an assumption that he had made, an assumption that he had said, that he articulated in front of me, and it's probably something that other clients have struggled with as well. It's that people are assuming I'm trying to wrap them into a 6 month to year long contract, and it's not what I'm doing at all. It's the complete opposite of what I'm doing. I'm trying to get them in for as little time as possible so that I can prove results to them. I'm not trying to get them in for as long as possible so I can feed off their business. That's not what I would do. And I just thought that was, it was just a thing that, gosh, just didn't think of that at all. And I'm going to definitely use it in my next few sales calls. I've got to incorporate that information into my script, that I'm not trying to get you in for the long haul right away. Maybe in the future I'll tie you into a longer contract, but for now I know that you can't really trust me that much, so I'm not going to try and do everything for you immediately. So that was basically it. And another thing, so the main point, that was a nice little story I had for today, and it kind of kicked up my mood for the first part of the day. It was kind of like awesome on the inside, but I didn't go like, I didn't go like that. That's gonna be the freaking thumbnail of the video now, I just know it. But I didn't like celebrate and go like yes and start rolling down on my bed like I usually would. I was kind of just like, you know what, that feels awesome. I'm going to get straight back to work because that's what needs to be done. So I wasted no time whatsoever in celebrating anything. And you know what happened as a result of that? I got all my calls done on that lead list, which I had never expected for myself to reach, and I got 102 calls done on the form alone, on the thing alone. And I haven't actually checked my phone contact yet, but it's probably filled up the almost the whole list of 100 numbers, and that's not even including the probably 30 or 40 calls I did on Skype. I did a lot today, and like the next highest after that was about 85, and that was a day of pure 7 or 8 hours of work straight, and I only had 6 today, and I still managed to do 102 calls. I was very impressed with myself for that, and I have to say, it taught me a decent bit doing like 30 cold calls in an hour or 20 cold calls in an hour, because that's really my absolute limit. Like I can't really go above that, because if I went for that I'd have to do one call every 3 minutes, which is very hard to maintain. And I ended up getting about 22 or 23 calls done, or 24 calls, not 22 or 23, in about 54 minutes. So I was done before I even got to 5 o'clock, which was crazy. And I ended up doing another one again, but I didn't count that as a cold call because I was just ringing up someone from them. And by the way, a lot of my calls weren't even cold calls. They were literally just me following up on other people. It was something I didn't want to do, but I'm glad I did it now. And I don't want to do it again tomorrow, but I'll do it again anyway, because it doesn't matter how I feel, it matters how I do. So another thing I did today was calling up the guy that I was on a call with last week, who I knew I was able to close, but I just didn't because I wasn't experienced enough. Anyway, he said to me, he told me before that he was going to consult the other managing director about it, and he just said, yeah, hi Michael, yeah, so we're not doing it, no, not this time, because just wouldn't work for us, so no. And then he was like, basically, okay, bye, bye, bye. And that just kind of pissed me off a bit, because it was like, mate, I spent like 30 minutes to an hour with you, and you're just blowing me off like this without giving me an actual reason. And no, the kind of chimp in my brain kind of went like, this guy just isn't really worth it anyway. He probably wouldn't be that fun to work with. But now I'm just kind of wondering, like, could I have done more on that call? I'd say I could have put in more effort, but in a similar way, I don't know if I actually want to. Um, I want to bother, because again, it's just a character thing. Like, I want my clients to kind of be somewhat pleasant, and they usually are. Like, the two guys I have on board so far, pretty pleasant, and the third guy now, and there was a lady on the call with him as well, who was also listening to me. Um, they seem pleasant enough, and I'm just kind of, I prefer it that way. And so this week I'm gonna call a fourth guy, or it might be next week. He's basically saying that, hey, I want to have a talk about this. I think we could actually possibly work something out. I'm not taking this at face value, because that happened with another guy as well. He called me, and then I got into a call with him and his daughter, talking about what they could do for the business. And he basically said the commission is too high, the ad spend is too high. Like, I get so many objections for the €2,000 on Google ad spend, because it's apparently too high. And I called him up again the next week, because he didn't reply to my emails, and I said, hi, have you thought any more about the thing? And he said, yeah, I've thought about the thing, and I don't want to do it at this time, because it just wouldn't suit me. €2,000 is too much. And now, this call took place last week, by the way, so I haven't spoken to him this week. And I also spent about €5,000 on an exhibition. And I was just thinking in my brain, mate, you thought that €2,000 for a month's worth of Google ad spend was more than what was too much. Yeah, you spend about €5,000 on an exhibition where people might get to see your service. I was just thinking, like, these people have money to burn, man, and you just need to be there in the position to burn it in the right place. It's, like, these people are gonna spend and I'm not saying this in a condescending way. I'm just saying it in a way that's practical. People have this money that's like that they just kind of use it up, and then that they just wonder, oh, where's it gone? But then when some person comes along who they haven't seen deliver results before, and they don't really trust, when they see that person coming along offering a service and saying, and saying like, I can deliver results for you, they're like, I don't know, I don't like the whole advertising thing, and also, you're taking 10% of my commission. I could probably just do that myself and not lose 10%. You don't have really any particular USP for your business. Cheeky, man, cheeky. People are cheeky. There's another guy I had on WhatsApp yesterday. He said, and he hadn't replied to me, and I got on a sales call a couple of weeks ago. I don't think this is going to work out. I mean, you have 2,000. You're looking for €2,000 in ad spend, and I could easily spend on Google Ads, run through the system, and get my return on ad spend, and do them all myself. You have no particular USP for your business. I really am losing my ability to care about offending these people, because just why bother? The onus is on the person who gets offended, right? So a couple of months ago, like, these comments would have been like, they would have pierced my skin like steel, but now it's kind of just like a bit of like a paw in the face. Maybe it's a bit irritating, like some random paw going right into your nose, but it's not as bad as it was like 343 punches to the stomach before it would have been. And the thing is, the point I'm getting at with talking about these little stories is, I don't want to deal with this. Like, I'd rather just be doing nothing and staring at a wall, if I'm being honest. I'd rather be scooping crap out of a freaking sewer, but I still do it anyway, because it's going to get me to a better place than taking crap out of a sewer would get me. Another guy today, and I sent him a cold email, basically just had my cold email and script on it, and the loom as well I sent with it. And then I followed up again today saying, hi, just making sure this wasn't buried, like I do with everyone. He said it was ignored. Regards, this name. Now, I'm not going to be petty, say his name, because I don't want to make it seem like I was offended by it. I didn't even respond to the email because it wasn't worth my time. But I just like to demonstrate to you that there are just things that you're going to have to deal with, like kind of childish people who you just have to be better than. And that's what I'm getting at in this video. You have to be better than people. You have to be stronger. You have to be tougher. You have to be braver. You have to be the one to take all of their doubts on board into your own mind. It's like, and I'm not comparing myself to Jesus, but it's like how Jesus Christ died for the sins of others, and he had to be stronger than everybody else put together to do that, because nobody else could face the truth but him, and he was the one who redeemed all of humanity, because he was willing to face the truth, and he was the strongest of them all, the strongest spiritually, the strongest mentally, and he accepted it.